you know, it's giving. Okay, it's giving Freddy Krueger. What should we call her?
Oh, you fancy, huh? Girls, let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends. Girl, you got it.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've already been here before. Today we're doing a little something different on my channel. We're doing a little Valentine's Day Gore look, so if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. To make my heart, I outlined the shape that I wanted, and then I layered the inside with latex and then used a sheet of tissue paper on top and then layered another layer of latex. You only need one layer of latex to do this, and you don't need to have the latex everywhere if you do not want it to be. You can also cover your eyebrows, but I opted not to because I don't like to pull the latex out of my eyebrow hairs. To start on the layer that's going to transition into skin, I'm just going to lay down a layer of latex, tracing out that heart that I put down before. And I'm going to put down a good amount of latex because I'm going to put scar wax on top of this. I'm going to take my shape scar wax, and I made these by rolling a small amount in between the palms of my hands. You just want to make sure you don't make these too thick. After that latex starts to dry a little bit, I go ahead and layer on my scar wax onto where I just put that latex. If you don't have latex, you can also use spirit gum, but I didn't want to work with spirit gum this day. Latex is a lot quicker and it's a lot easier to remove. To make sure the scar wax doesn't stick to your fingers, you can just have some Vaseline and rub it in between your fingers so that way it doesn't stick. After I do one side of my heart, I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side. I did a little bit of a thicker layer on this side, so I'm just going to use my fan to dry it a little bit. After it's a little tacky, I'm going to go ahead and lay my scar wax on that side following the shape I laid down before. Sometimes when you're rolling these out, they split, so I just went ahead and did 2 parts to this side instead of 1. But as long as you have a little bit of Vaseline on your fingertips or some type of oil, you should be able to merge the pieces together. I'm going to reapply a little bit of my Vaseline, and then I'm going to start to smooth out the outer parts of my heart. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure I'm avoiding the inside. I want to make sure I leave the inside alone because that's going to define the heart. After you start applying this, you want to make sure you keep your face as still as possible. So it's going to look like I'm mean mugging the camera, but I promise you, I'm just trying to keep my face as still as I can so that way I don't put cracks inside of this mold. Now I'm going to push back on the inside so that way I can make a sharp edge, and this is going to make that defined shape of your heart. So if you messed up the shape of your heart, this is your time to fix it. Now that my face add-ons are done, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my skin prep. I'm going to moisturize and prime with my Confidence in a Cream Moisturizer and my e.l.f. primer. I'm going to take my Mirror on White powder just to dust all around the heart. This is going to take away the shine from that scar wax, and it's going to make sure the foundation can stick to it. And I am so sorry, y'all. I did not realize that some of these clips were blurry, so some of them will be blurry and hard to see, but I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to y'all now. I did not know. For my foundation, I'm going to use 2 NARS foundation. I'm going to use New Caledonia and I'm going to use Macau. I usually go for New Caledonia, but I forgot it's my summer color, so I mixed in a little bit of Macau in the end to tone it down. When you're applying the foundation over the scar wax, you want to use a brush first just to apply it and make sure you get it into all the cracks. You also want to take your time because although you're using light pressure with this brush, you can change the shape. So you just want to make sure you're light going around this. And because we're adding blood on the inside, you don't have to be too precise. So it's okay if you get foundation on the inside of the heart. After I apply my foundation to all the places I need to, I'm going to use this small brush to buff out my foundation. I usually use a larger, denser brush, but because I'm going to make sure I don't go too far over the heart, I'm going to make sure I take a smaller foundation brush. To bronze my face, I'm going to take my Jordana bronzing duo, and this is a little bit too dark for me. Actually, a lot of dark, y'all. I'm going to get the rest of them. But because it is too dark, I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of that New Caledonia foundation. And yes, I'm using the same brush I use to apply my foundation. Sometimes it's okay, and because I'm not applying any concealer or anything, I did want to minimize my brushes. And after you do the contour, you're done. You don't have to do any concealer or anything, so your base is finished at this point. And although my foundation was a little too dark, it's still eating, y'all. The base was still on point. To set my entire face, I'm going to take my Dermablend translucent powder and I'm going to take my triangle powder puff and press this everywhere on my skin. You want to make sure you apply a lot of powder at this part because we're going to be applying paint, we're going to be applying eyeshadow. Just in case anything drops on your face, you don't want it to mess with your base. So you want to make sure your base is locked in all the way. After my face is dry as the desert, I'm going to go through and dust off that Dermablend powder with a little bit of my Fenty Press powder in the shade 450. After I'm done dusting off that translucent powder, I'm going to go through and contour my face with the other side of that Jordana powder. And although the cream contour is a little bit too dark for me, I absolutely love the powder contour. It's perfect. On top of the powder contour, I'm going to take my favorite MAC blush. You guys can visit my other tutorials to figure out what blush this is. I think this MAC blush is discontinued, so they don't have it anymore. But I have literally had it for years. Now we're going to snatch our cheeks with that Dermablend powder, and I'm just going to reverse contour with my powder puff. Now, because this foundation is a little bit one-noted, I had to bring in some highlights somewhere, so I'm making sure I super bake those places on my face. To fill in the inside of my heart, I'm going to be using my red and my black Muron paints. And I'm just going to fill in the inside with that red paint. And making sure I'm really careful around the edges because I don't want this red paint to get on the outside of my heart. When I'm done filling in the heart with the red paint, I'm going to take my black paint on a little bitty eyebrow brush and I'm just going to fill in the deeper parts of that face. After you apply the red paint, you'll be able to see more of the details in the latex. And you want to try your best to keep the higher parts red and the lower parts black. After I go through in all the areas I want to with that black, I'm going to blend it out with a disposable lip brush. And the good thing I like about doing faces like this is you don't have to be too delicate with this, because if you rip little holes and things like that in it, it's just going to add to the end look. As you're blending this out, if you blend the black out too much, you can just go through and re-add the paints in the deeper sections on your face. You're pretty much filling in the wrinkles with the black and then blending it out. After you're done blending out your black paint, you're going to go through with some black eyeshadow and go through the edges of the heart. This is going to give the edge some definition and some contrast against that brown skin tone. Feel free to fill in some of the inside areas of your face with this black as well. You just want to remember you want to keep the deeper sections black and you want to keep the higher sections red. After you finish with your black shadow, feel free to go through with a little bit of red eyeshadow. I applied a little bit too much black in some areas, so I was just going through and add some red. And when you're done with this eyeshadow, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go through and apply blood over the whole thing. Doing this underneath that blood is just going to make it look a little bit more realistic. Now I'm going to use my Stage Blood from Miron. I'm going to take another disposable lip brush and I'm going to use this in that blood to fill in all the areas on the inside of that heart. I like using this blood because it does dry down, so I don't have to worry about it getting everywhere. Now you do want to be cautious to not get this inside of your eye. I did put this everywhere, even up close to my waterline. If you don't feel comfortable putting all this all the way up close to your waterline, just fill it in with some eyeliner and then blend it out. You can also use eyeshadow, so you don't have to worry about putting this up close to your eye if you do not feel comfortable. But me, on the other hand, I'm going to try it. I could just go to the eye doctor later on. After you're done applying your blood, you're going to go through and dust off that translucent powder. And I'm using the same brush I used to apply that Fenty powder. Now I'm done with my face. I just have my lips left, but I'm going to go through and do my hair because I don't like to do too much movement around my lips. To line my lips, I'm going to use a brown lip liner from Essence Cosmetics, and you can find all of these products linked on my Instagram page at I am Shanti Slays. I had so many problems recording this video, y'all. Now my camera dies and it doesn't catch me lining the rest of my lips, but you can go and watch any of my other YouTubes and it will show you my lip routine. For lipstick, I'm going to use my Bloodline Beauty lipstick. You can also find this linked on my Instagram. And I'm going to apply this to my bottom lip and then tap my lips together to apply to my top lip. This part was so hard because I was trying not to move my top lip so much because I did have a little bit of that Scar Wax white on top of my Cupid's bow. And this will actually just fall off your face if you move too much. So I was trying not to do too much. After I feel like my lipstick is blended, I'm just going to go over my lip liner with some of my clear lip gloss. This is some lip gloss I got from the hair store. You can also just find packs of clear lip gloss from TJ Maxx. I've gotten packs of 5 lip glosses for $2. I'm telling y'all, go shop your local TJ Maxx. And y'all, we got a new drop from Bloodline Beauty. Y'all know I am a Bloodline Beauty girl. I usually don't like glitter in my lip gloss, but this one has the perfect amount of sparkle and it is perfect to use on top of the nude lipstick. Then I'm going to pat my lips together again. I don't know, y'all. I think I love this lip gloss. What do you think? To finish my face, I'm just going to spray with some Morphe Continuous setting spray. And then after I'm done with that setting spray, I'm going to pat that setting spray into my skin. But I made this mold out of my face, out of the heart shape yesterday. And then I coated it with foundation. And then put the same blood I did on my face on this part. If y'all want to see how I did this, just put it in the comments because I didn't really know what I was doing the first time, so I didn't record, but I will do it again if y'all want me to. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this look and really enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I had so much fun doing this look, and honestly, it came out way better than I thought it would have. If you did enjoy this look, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Turn those notifications on so you get all of my tutorials, and follow me on all my social media at I am Shanti Slays. Bye, y'all.